As the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve, something remarkable happens not just on the calendar, but within us. For a brief moment, the entire world feels synchronized. Billions of people collectively pause, reflect, and reset. This moment, so fleeting and yet so powerful, is unlike any other time of the year. It is a reset button, a rare alignment of time and intention that offers you a unique opportunity, a chance to embark on the most profound journey of your life, the journey within. Why is the new year the best time to start your spiritual journey? It's not just because of the resolutions, the fireworks, or the turning of the calendar page. It's because, at this moment, the air itself seems charged with possibility. The world whispers to you, you can begin again, but the question is, will you listen? Will you seize this chance to step onto a path that leads not to external achievements, but to the very core of your being?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
We often associate New Year's resolutions with surface-level goals: losing weight, earning more money, learning a new skill. But what if you went deeper? What if this year you resolved to awaken to your truest self? To uncover the essence of who you are beneath the layers of ego, fear, and conditioning. The new year is more than a calendar event. It's a spiritual portal, a doorway into the infinite potential that resides within you. And stepping through that doorway begins with a single, simple decision to turn inward. But why now? Why not tomorrow, or next week, or next month? The answer lies in the nature of time itself. The new year is a liminal space, a threshold between what was and what could be. It's a moment of collective pause, where the past releases its grip and the future has not yet taken form. In this in-between space, the veil of illusion grows thin, and the truth of your spiritual essence becomes more accessible. Have you ever wondered why you feel so reflective during this time? Why do memories, dreams, and hopes seem to rise unbidden to the surface of your mind? It's because your soul recognizes this threshold and is calling you to awaken. Imagine for a moment that your life is a vast ocean. Most of the time, you are swimming on the surface, tossed by the waves of daily life work, relationships, responsibilities. But on New Year's Eve, the waters grow still, and for a brief moment you can see all the way to the depths. You catch a glimpse of the treasures that lie beneath the peace, wisdom, and boundless love that are your true nature. The question is, will you dive in? Or will you let the surface distractions pull you away once again? Embarking on a spiritual journey is not about escaping the world or renouncing your responsibilities. It's about living with awareness, with presence, and with purpose. It's about discovering the profound truth that you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a drop. And the new year, with its energy of renewal and transformation, is the perfect time to dive into this truth. But let's be honest, the path of spiritual growth is not easy. It requires courage, commitment, and a willingness to face your deepest fears. It requires you to let go of the illusions that have kept you safe but small. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to ask yourself the questions that matter most? Questions like, who am I really? What is the purpose of my life? And what is the nature of the reality I inhabit? These are not questions with easy answers, but they are the questions that lead to freedom. And freedom is the gift of the spiritual journey. Freedom from fear, freedom from suffering, freedom to live fully, deeply, and authentically. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of peace that no external circumstance can shake. Imagine moving through the world with an open heart, unburdened by the judgments and expectations of others. Imagine knowing with every fiber of your being that you are enough just as you are. This is the promise of the spiritual path, and the new year is your invitation to step onto it. How do you begin? The answer is both simple and profound by turning inward. Begin with silence. Begin with stillness. Create a space in your life, however small, where you can listen to the whispers of your soul. Start with a daily practice, whether it's meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in nature. Commit to it as you would commit to a dear friend, for that is what your soul is, a friend who has been waiting patiently for you to turn and say, "I'm ready." And as you embark on this journey, remember that you are not alone. Millions of others are walking this path alongside you, each in their own unique way. The new year is not just a personal reset, it's a collective awakening. As you deepen your connection to your inner self, you contribute to the awakening of the whole. Your journey matters, not just for you, but for the world. Every step you take toward greater love, wisdom, and peace ripples out, touching lives in ways you may never see or understand. So as the new year dawns, I invite you to take that first step, not for the sake of a resolution, but for the sake of your soul, not to change who you are, but to remember who you've always been. You are a spark of the divine, a being of infinite light and love. And this moment, this new year, is your time to shine. Starting a spiritual journey is one thing. Sustaining it, especially in the face of life's relentless demands, is something else entirely. Think back to the times you've set resolutions or embarked on new paths with the best intentions, only to find your enthusiasm wane after a few weeks or months. Why does this happen? And more importantly, how can we prevent it from happening to our spiritual growth? The truth is, the fire of transformation requires constant tending. Just as a flame needs fuel and air to burn brightly, your spiritual journey needs consistent nourishment. But what does that nourishment look like? It's not just about meditating or reading spiritual books, though those can be valuable tools. It's about creating a life that supports and sustains your awakening. A life where your outer actions align with your inner truth. A life where every moment, no matter how ordinary, becomes an opportunity for growth and connection. To sustain your spiritual journey beyond the new year, the first thing you must do is cultivate awareness. Awareness is the foundation of all spiritual practice. Without it, you're like a sailor navigating without a compass adrift, directionless, at the mercy of the winds. Awareness begins with being present. But what does it mean to be present? It means to fully inhabit each moment, to experience life as it unfolds, without clinging to the past or reaching for the future. It means to see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. But let's be honest, being present is easier said than done. Our minds are like restless monkeys, constantly swinging from one thought to the next. And yet, this is where the practice begins. Every time you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the present. Use your breath as an anchor. Inhale and feel the air filling your lungs. Exhale and let go of tension and distraction. Each breath is an opportunity to return to yourself, to reconnect with the essence of who you are. As you deepen your awareness, you'll begin to notice something remarkable. The world around you will seem to come alive. Colors will appear more vibrant, sounds more vivid, sensations more intense. This is not because the world has changed, but because you have. You've peeled away the layers of distraction and opened yourself to the miracle of the present moment. And yet, this is just the beginning. The deeper your awareness grows, the more you'll see that everything, every sound, every sight, every sensation is a reflection of the divine. The world is not separate from you, it is you. And this realization is the key to sustaining your spiritual journey. But awareness alone is not enough. To keep the flame of transformation burning, you must also cultivate discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and action. It's what allows you to show up for your practice, even when you don't feel like it. It's what keeps you grounded when life pulls you in 100 different directions. Discipline doesn't have to mean rigidity or self-denial. It simply means making a commitment to your growth and honoring that commitment, no matter what. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate discipline is to create rituals. Rituals are anchors that ground you in your practice and remind you of your purpose. They can be as simple as lighting a candle each morning, journaling your intentions, or saying a prayer before bed. The key is to make them meaningful. A ritual is not just a habit, it's a sacred act, a way of infusing your daily life with intention and reverence. But here's the thing about discipline, it's not just about doing, it's also about being. As you walk your spiritual path, you'll encounter moments of resistance, doubt, and fatigue. When this happens, remember that it's okay to rest. It's okay to pause and simply be. Spiritual growth is not a race, it's a journey. And every step, whether forward or backward, is part of the process. What matters is not how quickly you progress, but how authentically you engage with the path. Now, let's talk about the challenges you'll face. Because make no mistake, challenges will arise. Life will test your resolve in ways you cannot predict. You may face external obstacles, demands from work, family, or society that threaten to pull you away from your practice. You may face internal obstacles, fear, doubt, or resistance that make you question your path. These challenges are not signs of failure. They are invitations to grow. They are the fire that forges the steel of your soul. When challenges arise, ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? What is the gift hidden within this struggle? Every obstacle contains a lesson, and every lesson is an opportunity for transformation. Remember, the lotus blooms in the mud. The darkest moments of your journey may be the very moments that lead to the greatest awakening. But you don't have to face these challenges alone. Community is one of the most powerful tools for sustaining your spiritual journey. Seek out others who share your values and aspirations. Join a meditation group, attend a spiritual retreat, or simply connect with like-minded friends. A community can provide support, encouragement, and accountability. It can remind you that you are not alone on this path, that your struggles and triumphs are part of a shared human experience. And finally, remember to celebrate your progress. Spiritual growth is not about perfection, it's about presence. It's about showing up for yourself, day after day, with an open heart and a willing spirit. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward awakening. Celebrate those steps. Acknowledge your courage. Honor the effort you've made to grow and transform. So as you move beyond the new year and into the days and months ahead, keep the flame of your spiritual journey alive. Tend it with awareness, discipline, and love. Let it illuminate the path before you, and let it guide you home to yourself. Remember, this journey is not about reaching a destination. It's about awakening to the truth that you are already whole, already complete, already divine. The new year is not just a beginning, it is a reminder that every moment, no matter when it occurs, holds the potential for transformation. The deepest measure of spiritual growth is not found in moments of meditation or flashes of insight, but in how you live your daily life. Spirituality is not something that exists apart from the world, it is a way of being in the world. It's about embodying the wisdom you've uncovered and allowing it to shape your actions, thoughts, and relationships. As you move forward in your journey, the question becomes, how do you integrate what you've learned into every moment of your existence? To live your truth, you must first know it. This requires ongoing self-inquiry, a willingness to ask the hard questions and to sit with the answers, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. What are your deepest values? What brings you joy? What aligns with your soul's purpose? These are not questions to answer once and forget. They are questions to live with, to explore continuously, because the truth is not static. It evolves as you grow, deepens as you awaken. But knowing your truth is only the first step. The greater challenge is embodying it. It's one thing to understand the principles of love, compassion, and integrity. It's another to live them, especially in a world that often values the opposite. How do you stay true to yourself when others misunderstand or judge you? How do you remain compassionate in the face of anger or patient in the face of frustration? These are the moments that test your growth, the moments that reveal whether your spirituality is a practice or merely a philosophy. To embody spiritual wisdom, start small. Begin with the choices you make every day. When you interact with others, ask yourself, am I speaking from love or fear? When you face a decision, ask, does this align with my values? When you encounter a challenge, ask, what is the highest response I can offer at this moment? These questions may seem simple, but their answers can transform your life. They invite you to act not from habit or ego, but from the deeper truth of your being. Living your truth also means embracing your imperfections. Spiritual growth is not about becoming flawless, it's about becoming authentic. It's about accepting yourself as you are while striving to become more fully yourself. When you make a mistake, and you will meet it with compassion rather than judgment. See it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Remember, even the most enlightened beings were once beginners. The path is not about perfection, it's about progress. As you embody spiritual wisdom, you'll begin to notice a profound shift in your relationships. You'll find yourself more present with others, more attuned to their needs, and more compassionate toward their struggles. This doesn't mean you'll always agree with everyone or allow others to mistreat you. Living your truth sometimes means setting boundaries, speaking hard truths, or walking away from relationships that no longer serve your growth. But even in those moments, you can act with love and respect, honoring both yourself and the other person. And what about the world beyond your immediate relationships? How do you bring your spiritual values into your work, your community, and the broader society? The answer lies in service. Service is the natural expression of a spiritual life. When you realize your interconnectedness with all beings, helping others becomes not a duty but a joy. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job and become a monk. It means bringing a spirit of service to whatever you do, whether it's creating art, raising a family, or running a business. It means asking, how can I use my gifts to contribute to the well-being of others? But let's pause here and ask a deeper question: what does it mean to serve? Is it simply about giving your time, energy, or resources? Or is it something more? True service is not about what you do, it's about the intention behind your actions. It's about approaching each act, no matter how small, with love, humility, and a recognition of the sacredness of life. It's about seeing the divine in others and honoring it through your actions. When service arises from this place, it becomes a form of worship, a way of connecting with the infinite through the finite. Living your truth also means embracing uncertainty. The spiritual path is not a straight line, it's a winding road, full of twists and turns, peaks and valleys. There will be moments of doubt, confusion, and even despair. In these moments, it's important to remember that uncertainty is not the enemy, it's the doorway to growth. When you let go of the need for certainty, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities of the present moment. You become like a river, flowing effortlessly toward the ocean, trusting the current to guide you. And finally, living your truth means staying connected to the source of your inspiration. For some, this source may be God, the universe, or the divine. For others, it may be nature, art, or the inner wellspring of their own soul. Whatever your source, make time to connect with it regularly. Let it replenish you, guide you, and remind you of why you began this journey in the first place. Spirituality is not a destination, it's a relationship, an ongoing dialogue between you and the infinite. So as you step into this new year, ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to create? What kind of person do I want to become? And what kind of world do I want to leave behind? These are not just questions for the new year, they are questions for every year, every day, every moment. The answers will not come all at once, and they will not always be clear. But as you walk this path, you'll discover that the journey itself is the answer. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the truth of who you are. And remember, you are not alone. Every soul on this planet is walking a journey of awakening, whether they realize it or not. Your growth contributes to the growth of the whole. Your light illuminates the path for others. Your courage inspires those who are just beginning. The new year is not just a personal reset, it's a collective rebirth. Together, we are creating a world where love, wisdom, and compassion can flourish. And it all begins with you. So take a deep breath. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the air in your lungs, the beating of your heart. This is your moment. This is your time. Live your truth and let the world be transformed by your light.